We are sitting down again with Jake Laughlin, author of Get the Gig. We are talking about something new tonight, though. It's called You've Got the Gig, Now What? And Jake, give us the lowdown on Got the Gig, Now What?
Well, thanks, Mikey. I put out Get the Gig, a little while ago. But Get the Gig was always intended to be part one of a series. And the second part of that series being Got the Gig, Now What?
Okay.
So in Get the Gig, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I get more gigs? After you get that gig, the question is, okay, now how do I turn that gig into money? If you're trying to make this your career, eventually we got to answer that question, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got to get the gig. That's step one. Now let's see if we can't turn this into my job, into my business. So, we lay out a few things in Got the Gig where, there's a couple of different ways. I mean, quite a few different ways, honestly, to make money in music. And it's not to say that you got to do one over the other, that one is superior to itself. But, you've got people who are cover artists, and they're going to play what you ask them to play, which is great. That's perfectly fine. There's people who write and license, and they do ghostwriting and all these kind of things, and they're more leaning on licensing. And then there's that third tier of musicians where I spend more of my time on, and that's people that want to be able to play their music their way, doing their thing, and see if they can't make a career doing their kind of stuff. Now, it's not to say that any of the other two are wrong, and it's not to say that you're probably not going to do a combination of all three before this is all said and done. But I really want to focus on that tier because I think that's one that's just more interesting. It's more fun to think that way. And I think there's a lot of light that we can kind of send that way. The biggest thing, what it all kind of crescendos to with that group, is you have to get to a point where you can draw crowds, whether physically, whether a bunch of traffic to a site or something. You got to be able to draw a bunch of people to you. And if you can be the guy that has the people that when you say do this, they do it, now you've got yourself in a position where you can make some money. So really the book revolves heavily around how can I draw crowds and begin to market myself and start pulling in more and more and more and more and more people.
Very cool.